When rescue teams find a hypothermia victim outdoors in winter, they expect to find someone bundled up, curled tight, conserving every degree of warmth they have left. Instead, in roughly 20 to 50% of fatal freezing cases, the victim is found partially or fully undressed, sometimes with their clothes neatly folded nearby. Daniel was an experienced trail runner. He knew cold weather. He'd done winter races in Canada. He was found 2 miles from the trailhead in January, jacket off, one shoe missing. He had not been confused. He had not fallen. His body had simply begun shutting down in a sequence that almost nobody understands. And the undressing was a symptom, not a mistake. This is what actually happens inside a human body as it freezes to death. The first response your body fires when core temperature starts dropping is vasoconstriction. Your blood vessels near the surface of your skin, especially in your hands, feet, and face, clamp shut. The goal is simple. Keep warm blood near your vital organs and away from your exposed skin, where it would lose heat too quickly. This is why your fingers go numb first. Your body made a calculated trade, sacrifice the extremities to protect the core. At this stage, most people still feel cold but functional. This is the window where getting inside, getting dry, or getting moving can reverse everything. The danger is that this phase feels manageable, and most people underestimate how quickly the next phase arrives. Shivering begins when your core temperature drops to roughly 95 degrees F, about 3 degrees below normal. Shivering is not a passive response. It is your skeletal muscles firing involuntarily, generating heat through mechanical movement at roughly 500 watts of output. That is real, significant heat production. In the short term, shivering can slow core temperature loss substantially, but shivering burns through glycogen, stored muscle fuel, at an extremely high rate. In a lean, cold, wet person who hasn't eaten recently, that glycogen supply can deplete in under 30 minutes. When the fuel runs out, shivering stops. And this is the moment that kills more people than any other single point in the hypothermia sequence. When shivering stops, most people, and many untrained bystanders, interpret it as a sign that the person is stabilizing or warming up. The opposite is true. The body just lost its last active heat generation mechanism. Core temperature begins dropping faster. Below 90 degrees F, the heart starts producing abnormal rhythms. Below 86 degrees F, the risk of cardiac arrest rises sharply. Below 82 degrees F, the body enters what clinicians call metabolic ice, a state where almost all chemical processes slow to near zero, which is paradoxically also the reason some drowning victims in ice water have been resuscitated after 45 minutes without a pulse. But before that terminal collapse, one more thing happens, and it's the thing that confused investigators in Daniel's case. As core temperature drops into the range of 87 to 90 degrees F, the nervous system begins to fail in a specific pattern. The peripheral blood vessels, the ones that had been clamped shut since the beginning, suddenly lose the neural signal that was holding them contracted. They dilate. All at once, a flood of warm blood rushes from the core out to the skin surface. The skin temperature spikes rapidly. To the brain, which is itself now misfiring, this feels exactly like intense, sudden heat. Not a slight warmth, a burning sensation, a feeling of being on fire. The victim tears off their clothing to relieve what their brain is genuinely interpreting as overheating. This is paradoxical undressing. It is not confusion, not delirium in the conventional sense. It is the brain responding accurately to the wrong signal. Some victims also exhibit what researchers call terminal burrowing. They crawl into small, enclosed spaces, under beds, into closets, behind furniture. This is thought to be a primitive, vestigial behavior, similar to the hibernating instinct in animals, triggered by the same failing brain state. Daniel's shoe wasn't lost. He took it off. His brain told him he was burning. The single most important variable in hypothermia survival is not core temperature at the time of rescue. It's time elapsed before the first 20 minutes of exposure ended. The reason is specific. In the first 20 minutes, the body is still actively vasoconstricting, still shivering, still maintaining some thermal margin. Interventions during that window, getting dry, adding insulation, consuming calories, generating movement, can reverse the cascade entirely. After that window closes, you are no longer preventing hypothermia. You are managing it. And management in the field without equipment has a much lower ceiling. The practical rule that wilderness medicine researchers emphasize is this: cold is never not that bad until you've been out of it for 20 minutes and feel completely normal. Feeling okay in the cold is not evidence you are okay. Vasoconstriction masks pain. Adrenaline masks sheer temperature drop. People have walked into hypothermia convinced they were fine, because fine is exactly what the body's first-line defenses are designed to make you feel. Daniel's autopsy showed no injury, no cardiac condition, no underlying illness. He was healthy. He was experienced. He ran out of glycogen 2 miles from the trailhead on a day he thought was manageable. If there is one thing to take from this video, it is that the body does not send accurate warning signals when it's losing the thermal battle. The shivering stopping feels like relief. The heat flooding your skin feels like warmth. The calm that follows feels like safety. None of those signals mean what they appear to mean. The video that covers how to recognize these stages in someone else, and the 3 interventions that actually reverse field hypothermia before it becomes fatal, is linked right here. Watch it, because the person who needs it is usually not the one who saw it coming.